Hello, Virgo. Someone made a decision, not the soft, provisional, I think I might kind of decision, not the kind that lives in the maybe space and requires ongoing maintenance to stay alive. A real one. The kind that arrives in a person the way certainty arrives when it is genuine, which is without fanfare and without the need for external confirmation and without the particular anxiety of someone who is still deciding. They are done deciding. They decided. And what they decided is that you are not going to move through your life being available to anyone else while they are still breathing and still capable of doing something about it. So they are doing something about it right now, in motion, coming. I want to start this reading in the exact moment of the decision, not before it. Not in the long buildup, not in the analysis, not in the weighing of options and the calculating of risk that preceded it, in the moment itself. Because the moment of a real decision has a very specific quality, and I want you to feel it before I describe anything else. It is quiet. Actual decisions, the ones that are real and will hold, do not arrive with noise. They do not announce themselves with the particular agitation of someone who is working themselves up to something. They arrive in a stillness, a sudden, complete, almost eerie stillness that follows the end of a long internal argument. The silence after two sides of something have finally exhausted themselves, and one of them has simply, without drama, won. In that silence, this person heard something. Something that had been trying to get through the noise of all the deliberating for a long time, and that finally, in the stillness of the decision, arrived clearly. A single, complete, not up for debate thought. I am going to get them. The first image that comes through in this reading is the most kinetic thing I have seen in this entire series. I see someone who was seated, standing up. That is the whole image. The act of standing, the specific, committed, I am done sitting with this motion of a person rising from whatever position they have been in, through whatever period they have been in it, into the upright, forward facing, ready to move posture of someone who has finished the internal phase of something and is now entering the external phase. They are no longer thinking about this. They are doing it. And the quality of the standing matters. It is not the tentative rising of someone who is getting up to test whether their legs will hold them. It is the full extension of someone who knows exactly where they are going and is simply getting their body into alignment with the direction they have already committed to in every other part of themselves. Up, facing you. Moving. I want to say something about the energy of this reading that is different from every other reading in this series. Every other reading has had some version of uncertainty in it. Someone feeling something they were not sure what to do with, someone sitting in the weight of something unresolved, someone approaching or retreating or circling or craving or watching or composing messages they were not sure they would send, someone in the process of something. This reading has none of that. What is in this energy is finished process. The uncertainty phase of whatever this is over. The deliberating is over. The weighing and the calculating and the talking themselves into it and then out of it and then back in again is over. What remains, and what this reading is entirely about, is the aftermath of resolution, the part that comes after someone has arrived at complete internal clarity and is now simply executing it in the physical world. They are not wondering if they should come get you. They are coming to get you. Present tense, active, already in motion. Let me tell you what coming to get you actually means in the context of this reading, because those words carry a particular weight, and I want to make sure the weight lands in the right place rather than in a place that is either too heavy or too light. It does not mean showing up at your door, though for some of you it might literally. What it means in the fullest energetic sense of it is that this person has made the decision to pursue you actively without the protective ambiguity of someone who is interested but has not committed, without the plausible deniability of someone who is in your vicinity by coincidence, without the managed presentation of someone who is expressing interest but hedging against rejection by keeping the expression subtle enough to be retractable. This is not subtle. This person has decided that you are worth the full exposure of going after you openly, of making it clear, not through implication or careful signaling, but through actual, visible, undeniable action, that they want you specifically and are no longer willing to exist in a situation where you are available to anyone else while they have not made their position known. They are making their position known to you directly, imminently. Now I want to speak about the no one else can have you part, because this is the most interesting and most specific energy in the reading, and it deserves full space. This is not possessiveness in the controlling, suffocating sense that the word possessiveness sometimes carries. This is something with a completely different quality beneath it. Something that is more accurately described as the particular and committed certainty of someone who knows, with a clarity that does not require validation, that what they feel for you is not something they are willing to experience while watching someone else occupy the space they belong in. This is the statement of someone who is done sharing the experience of you with the general possibility of other people. Not because they intend to control you, because they intend to show up fully in the specific and completely committed way that removes the ambiguity of whether they are in or out, because they have decided that being fully in with everything that means is the only position they are willing to occupy in relation to you from this point forward. No one else can have you. Not as a declaration of ownership, as a declaration of intention, as the statement of someone who has decided that whatever was previously holding them back from this level of commitment has been resolved, and that the resolution is them here doing this, making this known, removing every possible question about where they stand. Tell me something in the comments. Is this landing in the specific or in the abstract for you? Because I am feeling two different textures in this energy. For some of you, this reading is describing something that is very close, something that feels imminent in the literal sense, where there is a specific person and a specific dynamic, and what I am describing has a face attached to it, and the landing of this reading in your body is less like receiving information and more like receiving confirmation. And for others of you, this reading is operating at a slightly larger scale, at the level of something that is coming, but that has not yet fully materialized into the specific form it will take when it arrives. Tell me which one you are in. I want to know how close this is for you. Let me describe what do not move means, because it is perhaps the most unusual instruction this reading carries, and it is in there for a reason. Do not move is not a command to passivity. It is not the instruction of someone who wants you to stop living your life or to freeze in place while this person finds their way to you. It is something more specific than that. It is an instruction about your energy. Do not move away, not physically, energetically. Do not do the thing that you sometimes do, Virgo, when someone moves toward you with this much certainty and this much force and this much unambiguous declared intention. Do not recalibrate your own position in response to the force of theirs. Do not step back to create the comfortable distance of uncertainty that feels safer than the full frontal reality of someone who knows exactly what they want and that what they want is you. Do not make yourself less available than you actually are. Do not manage the size of this by reducing your own presence in response to it. Do not move. Stay exactly where you are, in the full quality of your own presence, in the actual size of whatever you feel, without the reflexive reduction that turns big things into smaller things because smaller things are easier to stand in. This is the moment for the full size. Stay in it. I see a second image now, and it has the quality of deliberate, unhurried momentum. I see footsteps, not running, not with the frantic urgency of someone who is afraid they will not reach their destination in time, with the measured, certain, completely unrushed quality of someone who knows the destination is not going anywhere, who is moving toward it at exactly the pace they choose, because the pace is not about urgency. It is about commitment, and commitment does not need to run. Commitment walks, with the full weight of each step placed deliberately in the direction of what it is committed to. These footsteps have a quality I have not heard in any other reading in this series. They sound like arrival has already happened internally, like the person making them has already, in their own experience of themselves, arrived, has already closed the distance, has already said what they are coming to say and done what they are coming to do, and experienced the full reality of what this is going to be when the external version catches up to the internal one. They are already there in every way except the physical. The physical is just formality now. Beautiful, overdue, entirely welcome formality. I want to speak now about what it feels like on your side of this. Because while this person has been resolving their internal situation, you have been in your own experience. And your own experience has had its own texture that I want to acknowledge directly. You have been waiting, not in the desperate, please hurry way of someone who is dependent on this arrival to be okay, in the particular Virgo way of waiting that looks like not waiting at all. That looks like living your life fully and with complete self-possession, while something in the background of your awareness has been quietly, consistently, without making too much of it, noting the absence of something it would have welcomed. You have been okay. You have been more than okay. But you have also been aware of a particular direction, of a particular frequency, of a specific quality of energy that when it was present, added something to your experience of your own life that was not there when it was absent. Not a dependency, a preference, the specific and entirely legitimate preference of someone who has tasted something good and knows the difference between the presence of that thing and its absence. You are about to stop noticing the absence because the absence is ending. The third image arrives, and it is the most emotionally direct image I have produced in this entire series of readings. I see two people in the same space. Finally, after whatever distance, whatever time, whatever the specific configuration of circumstances that kept the distance in place for as long as it was in place, in the same space. And the quality of being in the same space is not the careful, managed, what do we do with this quality of people who are uncertain about each other. It has the specific and immediately recognizable quality of something resolving, of two things that belong in proximity, being in proximity, of the particular relief that arrives when the gap that should not have existed closes. There are no long speeches in this image, no grand declarations performed for an audience, just the specific and private and absolutely real quality of someone who came for you being in front of you, having come. And the space between you in this image is the smallest it has ever been. Not because someone pushed the distance away, because someone decided it was done and crossed it. I want to say something to you now, Virgo, that is not about them at all, about you. You have a quality, and I have named versions of it in various ways throughout this series of readings, of being complete within yourself, of not requiring external arrival to constitute your own wholeness, of being at your best and most grounded, someone whose life is sufficiently full and sufficiently real that what comes from outside adds to something that was already good rather than completing something that was empty. That quality is real, and it is the reason this is coming. The person who is in motion toward you right now is not coming to someone who needs saving, not coming to fill a vacancy, not coming to be the thing that was missing from an otherwise incomplete life. They are coming to someone who has made something of themselves that is genuinely worth coming for, who has built an interior life and an exterior life and a quality of presence that is so specifically and so undeniably worth pursuing that the alternative to pursuing it, the alternative of allowing someone else to potentially occupy the space they belong in, became completely and finally unacceptable. Your wholeness is not the obstacle to this arriving. It is the reason it is arriving. The complete, self-possessed, entirely okay without any one version of you is the version that made the decision for them. Stay complete and let what is coming add to completeness rather than replacing the need for it. Virgo, do not move. Not because you are helpless, not because you cannot protect yourself or discern what is real or navigate what arrives with the full quality of your extraordinary perception, but because, for once, in this specific situation, the only thing being asked of you is to receive, not to analyze, not to assess risk before you have let yourself feel the thing that is right in front of you, not to immediately begin managing your response before the thing that requires a response has fully arrived. Just receive. Let them come. Let them say what they are coming to say. Let yourself be in this specific and rare and genuinely extraordinary moment the person who is being come for, rather than the person who is doing all the coming. You are always the one who shows up, who does the work, who holds the space, who manages the quality of everything in the vicinity. This time, someone else is doing the showing up. Someone else made the decision. Someone else is in motion. For you, toward you, unambiguously, without retreat, available in their own plan. Do not move. Let them arrive. You have earned this specific and extraordinary experience of being someone's destination. Stay there, right there, exactly where you are,